couple years ago, our next guest, this is what's neat about being in Hawaii. How many of you guys lettered in a sport in high school? Cool. Okay. Not one of you lettered in this sport that he lettered. Guess what it was? Surfing. What in the heck does that emblem look like on the letter sweater? So here he is, Mr. Tony Kawaguchi from Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii! Woo! Give it up for him. Woo!
Hello. I'm just here for the social media. That's it. All right, I'm done. Thank you guys so much.
There. No, you can sit there.
Man, it is bright up here. Wow. Anybody fly more than 20 hours to get here? Really? Wow. I flew almost 20 minutes. I watched 2 entire movie previews. And no snacks, no food, nothing. Didn't get up to go to the bathroom. I was on Southwest, so they did the whole Lord of the Flies seating arrangement. So I have my team. Some of my team is here. Some of my guys are over there. I have a team on Oahu, mega team there. We do about 100 to 150 million a year, and nobody knows how I do it, because when they meet me, they're like, "What? Okay, that guy? I don't know. Are you sure? Was it somebody else?" The earliest memory I have of my dad is when he was sitting on top of my arms and he pulled off his slipper to slap me across the face because I lied about changing my underwear. The next memory I have of my dad is actually when my mom said, "Would you want to live with me or your dad if we get divorced?" And I was 8. It turned out that he had been hitting my mom with his fists for a long time. My mom decided she was tired of that, so she got a boyfriend who hit her. He hit her with his fists. I remember when I was 12, he hit me across the face with his briefcase at the office because he didn't like the noise I was making. I definitely deserved it as a 12-year-old kid. I became a really, really angry, drug-addicted 7th grader. My son's sitting back there. He's 14 in 9th grade. I can't even imagine. I almost failed 8th grade. I almost failed my freshman year. My life was going pretty bad. Only child, addicted to drinking, partying, and just about anything. When I was 14, a friend of mine, Travis, his mom invited me to church for the first time in my life. I had never heard of God or Christianity or anything. My family was basically atheist Buddhist. I became a Christian. My life started to turn around. I met some really cool men at church who mentored me, taught me what it was to be a man and not a boy. They taught me how to be a father and a husband. My daughter is here, 16 years old, videoing me right now. My family, my wife is back there. I don't even see her. Hi, wife. 21 years. This year, yep. If I ever die, she will have killed me. So just immediately look for her. It'll be my fault that you'll say, "Oh, he had it coming," but it was her. Everybody you know has a story. When people meet me, they just assume, he probably thinks he's really important because he sold a bunch of houses for 23 years or something. I started in real estate in the 1900s, by the way. We used to get our MLS faxed to us, okay? A fax machine is a paper thing that is like a phone, just for some of you guys. My daughter's like, "What's that?" I spent the first half of my life trying to get the world to like me, trying to get people to like me, trying to show off. I was a really cocky kind of punk. Still am to some degree, a little less. But I learned from some of those guys in my church that it works way better if you just show people that you like them. As it turned out, over my last 24 years in this business, millionaires and billionaires, which I've had all of as part of my clients, they're all just humans. They just really want to be liked. I met Glenn today for the first time. You know what? Turns out he's a human. I paid him a compliment. He smiled. What do you know? He wants to be liked. But most of us are afraid. We're walking around thinking, I hope he likes me. I hope she likes me. I hope you think I'm cool. We do it on the freeway. I hope that guy thinks I'm cool in my car. I'm mad at that guy because he cut me off. He doesn't know you. He's having a bad day. When I was first starting to attract agents, I can think of one agent that I was afraid to call. I was like, well, she's a top producer. She's an MMA fighter. She's, beautiful, high production, $50 million a year. She'll never want to talk to me. There she is over there. Where's Tina? Where's Tina? I can't see. There she is. Tina signed on a month ago. When I was starting to build out my team, I looked at the Coldwell Banker website. I'm like, who's a cool-looking guy? And I thought, this guy looks way too cool to want to be on my team. Where's Troy? There's Troy. Stand up, Troy. Look how cool he looks. I sent him one text. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm such a dork. I hope he doesn't reject me because I'm such a dork. There was an agent that one of my team agents who's not here said, oh, I idolize this lady. She's like my hero in real estate. Oh, I just look up to her so much. And because she said that, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I want to call. I'm afraid to talk to her. Where's Leanne? Where's Leanne Horosky? Right there. There she is. There's a guy in this crowd, let me see if I can spot him from here, who's an athlete, a team leader, seems like a tough guy, tough skin. And I was like, I don't know if we can get this guy to come out to Hawaii, man. It turns out, and he likes to share this story with people, he was a foster kid who made it through dozens of crappy homes, turned his life around, has become a model human being. And there he is right there, Mario. Now, I tell you these stories because if you are a human like me, the scariest thing is to reach out to someone you don't know. It's like that first call, that first text, the first meet. It's, oh, I hope they like me. I hope he doesn't think I'm a dork. I hope he doesn't reject me. Do you guys, am I the only one? Like maybe I'm just damaged? Or do you guys think, like, I hope this new guy, you guys are going, oh, this guy's crazy, this is stupid. Raise your hand if you think there's people that I'm afraid to talk to. I'm intimidated by this top producer. Okay, some of you are in Hawaii, and you know me and my reputation. And right now, raise your hand if you're like, you're way dorkier than I thought you would be. Okay, raise your hand. There, thank you. Honesty, I love it. I love it. I'm the opposite of Dylan Nonaka. Dylan's like hard work, systems, and I'm just like lazy, let's go surf, whatever, we'll make it happen later. Different approaches. He's killing it as a result. For me, attraction and sales have always been the same thing. But it's not what you think. It's not me telling my story to people. It's me listening and hearing for their story. If you walk up to a stranger and you're like, hey, I had a terrible childhood. Want to hear about my stepdad? He was a jerk. They're going to be like, no. Hey, let me tell you about this new company that you've never heard of and we don't know each other. No thanks. I've had lots of people tell me, yeah, some idiot called me about EXP and I didn't know him from anybody and he just started spouting off all the numbers and I was like, yeah, shut up, and I hung up on him. But they're sitting down to talk with me for coffee. Why? The same way that I get free upgrades on Hawaiian Airlines. I walk up to the, what do they call them? Gate attendants, I guess. And I say, hey, Auntie. And they're working away on their seating arrangements. And I say, seems like you're having a hard day, Auntie. Is it busy? And they look up and I've done this many times. My kids have seen it, and they go, "What do you want?" They look at me, and I go, "Yeah, I'm sorry you're having such a hard day." And I just pause, and you know what happens? I get an upgrade. But the reason is, for a few minutes, I'm genuinely interested in this human being who's behind a desk, who's dealing with hundreds of angry people, and all of a sudden, I show up, and I'm like, "Hi, let's be friends. Tell me about you, not about me. I don't care about me. Let me hear about you." I want you to think of someone right now, an agent that you're afraid of, intimidated by, that you think, that guy's not interested in me, or EXP, or a client. Think of like a client that I don't want to talk to that guy, I'm afraid to talk to him, that guy's not going to like me, or whatever it is, right? I want you to think of that person. And if you think of that person, I want you to send a text to them right now, right this minute. Just pull out your phone and go, "Oh yeah, there's this one guy I really want to talk to, but I'm afraid." And send him a text like this. "Hey man, I was just thinking of you. I know you're happy doing what you're doing, but I would love to take you out to lunch and just hear your story." That's what Gene taught me to do. Everything I know I learned from Gene about attraction. Okay? Watch his videos, Brent too. Don't ask for anything. Just say, "Yeah, I'd love to just hear your story." Send out that text. I send that text out maybe a dozen a day. I just look for people. "Hey, I just want to talk to you." There's a really high-producing agent at a company that rhymes with Shmimax, and I was like, "Oh, he'll never talk to me, and he's told me he's never leaving. We're having lunch next week." I met a Keller Williams agent in December of last year, so what is that, 13 months ago. And this is what she said to me at our first meeting. She came to my house to pick up a prize. She said, "Just so you know, I'm never leaving Keller Williams." Like, "Hi, I'm Tony." Nice. Like, that was her introduction to me. "I'm here for my prize. Just so you know, I'm never leaving Keller Williams." Right? There's Karan right there. Karan signed on. Stand up. 3 months later, she signed on. She's already attracted like 6 agents. By the way, she was selling $20 million a year by herself. But here's the story behind that. I'm going to tell you a story. I probably should have asked you your permission, but it's okay. You can run out the room right now if you want. We met for coffee once, and she said, "Yeah, I'm never leaving Keller Williams." And I said, "Well, tell me what you want out of your life." And she'd been selling for a long time, almost as long as me, sold a ton. She's not as old as I am. And she said, "Man, I would love to just not sell anymore. I would love to just do my social media." She's amazing. Look up Karan Lang on social media. And she wanted to do that and just build her business that way. And I said, "Okay, let's meet again in a few weeks." A few weeks later, we sat down outside at Arvo, coffee shop outside her condo building. And I remembered what she said. So I said, "So Karan, how about if I give you a way to stop selling and never do showings and inspections again and just live on your social media?" And it was as if she forgot that she told me exactly what she wanted. But I was listening to her story, and I just gave it right back to her. And she was like, "Wow, that would be amazing." Almost like, "How did you know that? Who told you that? I've never said that to anyone." And at that coffee, I probably should have asked you permission. She's like, "Wow, I want to do it. I'm going to do it. I got to talk to my husband, but I'm just going to tell him I'm going to do it." And she signed on with us about a month later. And her broker fought like hell to keep her, by the way. Like, he wanted to kill me. Still wants to kill me. I'm okay with it, because I got Karan. Did anybody send out that text while we were talking? Did anybody get a response? Anybody get a positive? I would love to see someone like get a coffee meeting next week. So I'm going to end a little early, and I just want to tell you one really simple thing. It's actually not about the math for most people. It's not even about the model for most people, because a lot of people know the model. They've seen it. For most people, it's going to be about your relationship. It's going to be about how well you listen to their story It's not about your own story. We get stuck because we get in a coffee and we're like, me, let me tell you about me. How are you doing? Oh, really? But me. It takes so much self-control to just sit and listen. And I've had plenty of coffees and lunches where I say nothing about me or the company. I'm just listening. I'm just listening. Wow. Okay, your marriage. Okay, your kids. What? Okay, that's a lot. And at the end, they're like, man, this was amazing. Man, I guess I should sign on. And I've actually had people, no joke, some are sitting over there. Karan's one of them. I've had people sign on who don't understand the model at all. They don't know the math. They can't tell you, well, how much do you get on the third tier? Well, what are all the 5 ways you can earn stock? Some of you just found out there's 5. And I'm okay with it. That's my way. My way is to listen to the story, to develop the relationship. I can fill in the details later, but I just want to hear people out. This, by the way, Gene says all this stuff in a different way, right? And that's why he's so good at it. Think about Gene and Brent for a minute. What is the superpower that got them to where they are? I only met Brent, this is my second time, but he probably doesn't remember, but I only met Brent this weekend, but he has said my name to me 12 times. When I watch Gene walk around, he's like, hey, how are you? And he knows your name. How are you doing? He might ask you a question about your life that he knows. Their superpower is relationships. They're amazing relationship builders. I can say right now, I don't think this is an insult to say that Gene is much better at building relationships than he is at forming your systems for you. If you're like, Gene, how do I set up my lead flow and so that it's, got a good funnel and on the third tier I could do that? No. But if you set him up with someone and you're like, Gene, just love on this dude. In 20 minutes, that dude will be like, Gene's my best friend in the whole world. Yeah, he's got about 15,000 best friends. So if you want to develop a superpower, it would be to begin to listen to your clients in sales. By the way, I have extra time. Not extra, but I'll tell you a story about a client. I do actually sell a bunch of houses, okay? I tried to get out of production last year, sold 20 million on accident. I go to my client's house in Manoa, and she says, oh, I met with, you guys know in Hawaii, Myron Kiryu and Danny Hara. They're like 2 of the top agents, and they're just vicious. They're awesome, right, in a good way. They're like the top guys. She says, I met with those 2 guys already. And I'm like, well, what the heck am I doing? What am I doing here? They're way better than me. That's what I'm thinking in my head. So I said, well, Auntie, why don't you tell me why you asked me to come here? What are you hoping I will do for you? She goes, oh, they want me to clean up my house. She's a real local lady. That's kind of how they talk. I'm not good at it, but she's like, I don't want to clean up my house. I just want to sell it like this. They won't let me. They want me to clean it up. And I said, hey, Auntie, I have an idea. Why don't we sell your house like this and not clean it up? And she says, yeah, that's what I want to do. And I got the listing. Thank you, guys.
All right. All right.